All right, Mike, how are you?
Good. How are you? Thanks for
Good,
inviting me
good.
again. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for inviting me. We had a great time coming down to visit you at the shop, which was amazing. I saw so much, learned so much. It was just great being around your staff. Um, Such an exciting time for me, but also just to see everything, and your operation is just it's next level. It's really great, and I just really appreciate you trusting me coming down and kind of getting in the middle of this a little bit, and but really, like I said in my video, the part one, we're just really trying to get the right information out there, and we just kind of you and I talked a lot more, and we just kind of felt like the most accurate information wasn't being put out in the public, and we wanted to clarify that. And what a I couldn't think of a better way to clarify that than coming down to Daphne, Alabama, and getting to spend time with you guys and really see not only what I saw, but the science behind everything and how you guys approach everything. It gave me a newfound respect for what you guys are doing and what's going on. And the fact that you trusted someone from the outside to come in and witness these tests. Like I said in my part one, you and Lewis were not even in the room with me. I was by myself with the tech as he's loading the throttle bodies on. There was nothing. It was just you left me alone just to see and witness everything that was going on because you were so confident in the numbers that we were going to display. You were going to display that. You're like, I have nothing to hide. Here it is. Like, how
It's
can you dispute this?
it's a test we have done so many times. The only
Right.
missing piece there was the Mamo V3,
Hmm.
but we know what to expect just by looking at it, measuring stuff. We know what we have, and yeah, that's
Right.
why.
Yeah, and it's like I said, I get you guys. I know Lewis was a little leery of me coming in and filming, but at the end of the day, I think you understood that I was there because we're just looking for information. And Z06 owners who are looking for the best performance products, they want to make sure the information that we have is accurate. And I know that you and I talked a little bit about the video that came out, and I think at this point we all realize there probably could have been a lot more due diligence gone into the video to make sure what was being reported was accurate. And I think everybody's kind of scratching their head a little bit, right now. But this test and what we saw, I mean, I can't. It's undisputable. I saw it with my own eyes. I mean, I filmed it. You guys allowed me to film it. This isn't, hey, here's a spreadsheet with all these numbers. This is accurate. Now go tell the world like this is what it's supposed to be. And that wasn't the case. And so one thing we did when I was down there, obviously, I wanted to get a better understanding of throttle bodies and what the true airflow through these were. And I know that when you and I talked originally, you knew even in that video that what you were hearing and what was out there wasn't accurate. But you kind of took the high road and decided that, you know what, we're fine. We're going to keep doing what we do at Soler Performance. And we don't really want to get in the weeds with anything. But then my other video came out with the interview. And I think at that point, you were kind of wanting your voice to be heard and the accuracy of your throttle bodies getting out there because it I saw how passionate you guys were down there. I mean, you guys, this is what you do, and the passion is unbelievable. I mean, Lewis, his passion is unbelievable. I mean, and the way you explain things from an engineering standpoint, it, again, it was just, I knew you were a little frustrated that this information was out there, even though it might have been inaccurate and not all the right questions were being asked of Soler Performance. So I think having me down in this video and what we uncovered, I think is going to put a lot of things in perspective and really it allows you guys to be a lot more transparent and me to what I found and not just, you know, having numbers posted and saying this is accurate because it's not. We saw it. So I'll let you I'll kind of turn it over to you a little bit and let you kind of talk about what we did, what you guys did for me when I was down there, and then we'll jump into the results.
Okay. Yes. So, like you said, there is this perception that is coming from this data in a video from Brandon's garage. It's data supplied by Mamo Motorsports, and in which it shows that the results are in favor of the competitor's throttle body. So we disagreed with that, uh, but didn't have a sample at the time, or didn't want to go into a war. We have data in our website. Our website says what our throttle body flows. Now, somehow this video created a different perception. It's I know I immediately started to see that people would believe that,
Right.
and that became the new perception of, it's not a battle of products anymore. This is just, people are just believing this thing, and we didn't have an opportunity to talk. We didn't have an opportunity to tell our side, and that's where we are now. So you came over here. Uh, Thank you for that, and you brought samples, and we ran the same comparison they ran at Mamo Motorsports. We ran it here, and the way we approach it is very simple. Make sure we have the right equipment with the right range for what we're looking for, that is calibrated. So we did a calibration before the test, showing the machine is accurate, and then ran all the tests, did another calibration at the end, and yeah, the results and are there in the middle. We'll talk
Yeah.
about those later.
Yeah. No, I've never seen a flow bench test before, so that was exciting. So I had no idea how you guys did it. And when I first got into this, I couldn't have told you what any of these numbers meant, what it was. I was just like, oh, it's going to make my car perform better. And now, after meeting you and even visiting Daphne, I understand. I have such a better grasp on what's going on that, I'm hoping that this information can help people like me who are out there who want performance in their car, are watching some of these videos and really don't know what to do, because who do you trust? Who do you believe? Where are we getting the information? And I've told you this, and I talked to Brandon and we've done interviews. And again, he does wish he would have done a little bit more due diligence. He was reporting numbers that he received. And like I told him, I was standing there watching the flow bench, videotaping it, and nobody was bothering me. Nobody was, in my ear trying to convince me of this and this. I sat there with the tech and watched it. So I'm not just, I didn't get a sheet from Mike Cabrera at Soler Performance and says, here's the numbers, go report it, and hopefully we'll, sell a lot of throttle bodies. You're like, come watch and see what the numbers are. And now you know why, you know, this video maybe upset us or frustrated us, because we don't feel like it was an accurate depiction of what the throttle bodies truly can do. And it opened my eyes. It was such an amazing experience. And I'm not just talking now from someone who's a consumer. I'm talking from someone who has some knowledge of what's happening, because I was there with you guys. And it again was eye opening. And I think when we see the numbers and you go over the numbers and explain the numbers to people like me who are watching this video, who have no clue what TP percentages or what CFM is, I think just walking through it and simplifying, like, this is what's happening and this is what the results are, I think it's really going to help a lot of people when they're ready to make this purchase decision.
Sure, sure. So, um, So these are the originals, which I believe you have them there. These are
Yes.
copies of the originals.
Yes.
So first thing we did is a calibration of the flow bench, just basically not a calibration, but a confirmation of the calibration. We are not adjusting anything. We are just making sure the machine is within range. So for that, we use orifice plates. Uh, they are traceable to ASME standards, and um, these are not plates that we make. We buy them for a company that specializes in making orifice plates, and basically it's an orifice, it's a known object for which a flow is known at a given pressure differential. It's no different than using a caliper and say you have a gauge block that you know is 1 inch, is certified to be 1 inch. So you take your caliper, you measure the 1 inch block, and you should get 1 inch here. If not, your caliper is bad. So it's as simple as that. So we are doing the same here with these orifices. For instance, this one is a 30 CFM orifice. So we do a 4-point calibration. The machine goes all the way from 0 to 8,000 something CFM, and we use 4 points: a low flow, then a little higher, a little higher, a little higher. So, and what we're looking for is, for instance, at 30 CFM, this is what it should be. This is what it is. And then we know there are variations. So we have like a range. If any of these measurements are outside of this range, then we'll have to call the company and the manufacturer and fly here and do a calibration, basically. So that's actual calibration. Is the correcting the machine. This is just a verification of the calibration. So
Okay, so
so
basically,
second,
yeah, so
yes.
basically what this is for people watching, that you're going through and you're running basically a test through the machine to make sure that everything is going to be, I mean, we call it, you called it calibration, but basically you're testing to make sure that all the points are within range. So when we do put the throttle bodies on, the
Mm,
information we're getting from it is accurate.
exactly. We
Okay.
are anchoring ourselves to reality by
Yes.
measuring a known object. This object, orifice in this case, flows 30 CFM at uh, 25, 28. Let me see. Yeah, it says it on the plate. I think if you have footage of that, we'll show it. It shows it right on the plate. It should be 30 CFM at 28 inches of water. We got 29.9. That's pretty good. Then we go with the next orifice, 100 CFM. We got a 100.3 within range again. And then the next one is 300. We have 304 is within range again. And then there's the 800 CFM. We got 108, and it's good again. Now, as you can see, they never are exactly, nothing is exact, so they
Right.
never are exactly where they should be. But you should, okay, can we live with this? Notice that this 8 here is only 1% of 800.
Right.
So that is a pretty good machine. You cannot ask for more than that, and we have to live with that. That means when we call 800, it could be 108 or 792. And if we catch a difference in that range, we have to give the benefit of the doubt to the competition or to us. We consider that a tie. It's just that's the accuracy of the machine. It doesn't get any better than that.
Right. So
So
if any of these
yes,
were out of range, you would have said, thanks, Richard, for coming, but we can't do the test because it is not accurate right now. We have to get it calibrated before we can run an accurate test.
Right.
Okay.
Except we wouldn't make you fly here for nothing.
Yeah,
We
I'm
ran
just,
we ran
yeah.
the test, but that's how it goes.
Yes.
For
Yes.
instance, this number here, 808, is shifting. We have seen it as we a long time, is shifting upwards towards the 810. That will need to be calibrated pretty soon. As we use it keeps progressively shifting in that direction. So once it's above 810, we'll have to call somebody and calibrate it.
Okay.
It's been good for 5 years already, this machine.
Okay.
So
Right.
we're very happy with it. If we have to recalibrate it every 5 years, that's great.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
So that's how we started. We anchor ourselves to
Yes.
reality, and then we started measuring. So and then don't want to bore you with this, but these are the originals for the OEM throttle body, and then we also did a KDEC throttle body. We did this is another competitor KDEC. We did a Mamo version 1 throttle body. This is a throttle body that existed from the C7 times,
Mhm.
which, by the way, the core part for the C8 is the same as the core part for the C7. That hasn't changed. And
Right.
this is why this is relevant. And you'll see later why. Then we did the Soler 87, then we did the Soler 91, then we did the Mamo V3, and then we ran a calibration after we finished. So this is to show, okay, the machine didn't go crazy in between. This is
Right.
kind of, we will never run two calibrations on the same day, but just because of the importance of this, the attention and the relevance,
Right.
let's just do it so nobody says, oh, maybe it went bad
Yeah.
after the
Right.
first calibration. So
Right.
so we started anchor to reality, ran the test, finished again, anchor to reality.
Right. So
Now,
basically, if there's any questions about the test and the accuracy, doing this shows nothing changed during the test of all the throttle bodies.
exactly.
Okay.
We finished the same way. The machine finished as good as it started. Nothing happened. Nothing weird happened in between.
Right. Okay.
That's what it shows.
Okay.
So now all this data is being put into these tables, and you can verify. Just compare the PDF transcripts to this. Hopefully there are no typos. I've triple checked it. I didn't see anything.
All right.
So basically what you will see here, I'm going to start from the left. This is the original data. I'm going to go okay, here we have these two tabs. So this is the first tab is a test we ran in 2020. And this is about when we started the company. We were going to throw our first product out there, and before we did it, we said, well, if we're going to throw something out there, it better be at least equal or better than the best thing out there. And back then, the competition was KDEC and Mamo V1. So, and this is why we ran the first test, and has nothing to do with what we're doing now, except that we'll link this to what we're doing now later. But I want to go in chronological order. So I'm going to talk about this test first.
Okay.
So basically, we're ourselves looking for what's the best out there. Apparently, you go to the forums and everybody says Tony Mamo is better than KDEC, and the root of that opinion was this data published by Mamo Motorsports, which is here to the left. So all we did here is we put this column in this table and so on. This column is here. Again, I hope I didn't make any typos. This column is here. It's double, triple checked. And then, so he, in that test, Mamo Motorsports compares a stock throttle body at different throttle positions, 10, 20, 50, 90, versus the competitor at that time versus himself. You can see the numbers are color coded. So here the OEM is going to be green always. The KDEC is going to be blue. The Mamo is going to be orange, yellow. And then the difference. This is how much more flow is Mamo versus the competition, and the color of the difference has the same color as whoever won it. So
I
here,
see.
for instance, the Mamo, this is the test report published by Mamo Motorsports. And you can see, if you're looking at this table as published, well, you will see that you will have no doubt you will buy this one,
Right.
right?
Right.
Because even here, a wide open throttle, you can see the KDEC one by 3 CFM, which is nothing. We can see how a calibrated bench can miss by 8 or 10
Right.
easily. So this is kind of a tie. And then I don't blame anyone. I myself bought the Tony Mamo back then because I saw this data. And what happens is then we bring, but we see something indicated that was conducive to more flow. They had the shaft reduced, increasing the, I have it here. They have the shaft reduced to, I'm going to stop sharing momentarily to be able to show the, so here, as you can see, this is the KDEC throttle body that they are comparing there. And they did this shaving of the shaft, which increases the flow area. We threw a calculation back then. The Mamo Motorsports had a full shaft, as you can see there. So it's, if you measure the distance from here to here, this area is less than the KDEC. So we thought, well, why is this throttle body flowing the same as the KDEC? You know, why is there a tie here? We didn't at that moment we didn't complain, or we didn't have any opinions on this set of numbers here where he wins. But this particular one was of interest to us, and it turns out that when we bring the KDEC over here, we bring the Mamo, and we bring the stock TV. We repeat the test. This is the same test done over here. You can see it here to the right, the same color codes, but the results are different. The results here say that at low throttle, Mamo wins, but at high throttle values, the KDEC wins. And not only wins, it wins by a lot. And then we also noticed that where the Mamo wins, it wins by less than what is reported here. You can see this value, for instance, 24 and 15. So here he's claiming he wins by 24 CFM. Here he claims he wins by 15. And then, yeah, that was just a curiosity. So we start, well, what's going on here? These numbers that we got here, by the way, agree with our visual inspection.